one of the ethical issues that I am like very firm on is that the what we talked about a little bit earlier is that the disabled community makes up the largest minority demographic in the United States and throughout the world. But we also represent here in the United States the largest population of individuals that are unemployed. And
Oh,
I just recently learned that we also make up the largest demographic of those individuals to have post-secondary education and still be unemployed. So when you hear that and you want to make sure that these qualified individuals find qualified positions wherever that may be is kind of heartbreaking. So that when we have these conversations, I want to see people that look like me be in positions like myself or be in executive positions that are able to lead organizations and companies to curb that staggering number of people that are unemployed.
that's a
Um,
heartbreaking statistic because they're like every other sort of discrimination. There's absolutely no relationship in, I'm imagining 99.9% of the cases between the disability and the ability to do the role that is required.
Absolutely. And but I think that it takes individuals like myself to show individuals that like there is no drop off. And I think that's the biggest thing that we're seeing. We're afraid that there may be a drop off. And since we're testing the waters of unknown, we would rather swim in the waters of what we do know
Mhm.
rather than venture out and be vulnerable and swim in waters that we don't. And what I'll say also to that is that like for me, I also wanted to tailor my resume. I remember several years ago tailoring my resume to make sure it had no relation to having saying that I had a disability because I was fearful that that would be taken against me in this process. Or when we get those, those surveys where you can fill out your demographics, where you're like, okay, this is my race,
Right.
this is my gender. Oh, do you have a disability? And I remember going through those and being like, I prefer not to answer. I prefer not to answer. I prefer not to answer because I'm so fearful that I might get dinged for one of these things when I feel like I'm qualified for the position that's in front of me.